Did you know that Sacramento is among the top 5 most polluted cities in the nation? And while California has some of the most aggressive carbon reduction goals in the world, there's much more to be done. SMUD has a bold new clean energy vision to eliminate carbon emissions in our power supply by 2030, the most ambitious goal of any large utility in the United States. At the same time, we're committed to continuing to provide safe and reliable power, with rates among the lowest in the state. We are your community-owned, not-for-profit electric company that's been serving in the best interest of our customers and community for over 70 years. Because of you, we're striving for a zero-carbon future that will lead to a cleaner and healthier region for all, today and for future generations. Visit smud.org/zerocarbon to see how you can be a part of the solution.
Hello, I'm Erica Taylor, Vice President of Communications and Community Relations at Golden One Credit Union. On behalf of everyone at Golden One, I want to thank the City Year team for inviting us to this special event. But more importantly, thank you for what you're doing to support the young people who are the future of our communities. Since day one, Golden One has believed in the philosophy of people helping people, and we're honored to support an organization that believes in the power of young people, helps them develop into leaders, and creates a powerful force for positive change. Thank you for helping to build a more just, equal, and inspired future for these kids and our communities. We are stronger together.
Welcome everyone to our 2021 Ripples of Hope celebration. I'm Jeff Owen, Executive Director of City Year Sacramento, and your host for today. Before we jump in, I want to state that we took every safety precaution recommended to protect all of our participants during filming and of course today. Now with that, I'd like to invite our amazing hardworking board president, Beth Broom, to join me.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I'm really excited to be here with you today. And to all of our attendees, on behalf of the board and the organization, thank you for taking the time to join us at our annual celebration of City Year, our AmeriCorps members, and our community champions. What a challenging year it's been, but please know that we continue our work knowing we're all in this together.
Separately, but together. That has been the theme for this past year. This has definitely been a year of doing things differently, including the first time we virtually trained our Corps.
And our first time serving in a virtual classroom.
And as of last week, the first time we welcome students back to campus for hybrid learning as we continue to transition through this pandemic. It has been challenging, inspiring, and through it all, we have seen our community come together in extraordinary ways in support of City Year and our Corps, ensuring we can provide the best supports to our students, partner teachers, and schools at a time when we are needed most.
But we couldn't do it without our City Year champions, like all of you.
You're so right, Beth. In fact, I have another first that I'm incredibly excited to share, the launch of the first ever City Year Sacramento community team. Going into today's event, we have over 45 champions, large and small, corporate sponsors and individual donors, collectively supporting our work to address education equity. This group has helped us raise over $150,000. That is a team of 10 student success coaches.
Amazing. Sacramento did what SAC does best, come together in support of an incredibly important cause. And I have no doubt that as students are physically returning to school, they're thrilled to see their City Year wearing those bright yellow jackets and greeting and cheering them back in person. And as a donor myself, I always look forward to hearing stories from our community team student success coaches and love that I have a small part in ensuring they can continue to make a difference in students' lives.
Yes, and thank you to all of our sponsors and donors, and thank you to you, Beth, for your own personal donation. I'd like to take a moment to share a special thank you to Golden One Credit Union, Suncrest Bank, and Kaiser Permanente, who have sponsored at the $10,000 level, and to the Sacramento Kings, who have chosen to sponsor at the highest level, $15,000, and filled a yellow jacket. We are humbled by this support. Let's take a moment and watch a message from the Sacramento Kings.
At the Kings, we're proud to partner with City Year Sacramento to uplift youth and empower our community. In a year that has been very challenging, City Year has continued to help at-risk students. We have collaborated to incentivize and encourage students to reach their full potential. The dedication and hard work of City Year members provides critical support for students to grow. Their impact on our community is undeniable, and no one embodies the ethos of doing good and making Sacramento proud more than my friend Trish Rodriguez. On behalf of the entire Kings family, congratulations for being the City Year 2021 honoree.
Thank you, Matina, the Sacramento Kings, and again, thank you to all of our sponsors and donors.
And now we're asking that everyone on the call join us today to be a part of this great community collective and help us raise an additional $15,000 to fill another yellow jacket for the community team.
Or maybe with your help, we can even fill 2 or 3 more jackets. Use the link in the chat to donate during this event, and we have our development team ready to give us updates throughout the event. I'd like to introduce Sierra Hersick, Managing Director of Development. How are we doing, Sierra?
Doing great, Jeff. So happy to be here. I want to take a minute before we get started and let you know that I am here with our development manager, Joe Maddie. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look here. Joe's all the way over there, safely social distancing, but also celebrating his birthday today. So let's wish Joe a happy birthday. Thank you all for being here today. We're very excited. We're going to be able to give you some fundraising updates as we go. And I'm already able to give a few already. It's pretty exciting. We'd love to thank John Finnegan for his gift of $1,200. John is one of our founding board members and a constant supporter of City Year. Sanbal and Mansour Ali Abadi, thank you for your gift of over $1,000. Also, Rose Jameson, Kathy McKim, Babette Rosnowski, I hope I said that right. Thank you all for your gifts, and we are so excited to be able to share more updates as we go. It is so inspiring to see what Sacramento can do when we all come together.
That's great, Sierra, and happy birthday, Joe. Thank you, everyone who's given today already. We will be checking back in with you soon. Beth, it has been wonderful having you kickstart our Ripples of Hope celebration with me.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for inviting me to share in this celebration with you. And while the event might be different this year, the Ripples of Hope celebration is just that, a celebration of our hardworking AmeriCorps members and those who serve students and our community every day. I'm honored to be a part of it, and thank you all for your contributions. I look forward to Sierra's next fundraising update and to the rest of the program.
Thank you, Beth. And to the entire City Year Sacramento board, both past and present members, many of whom are logged on today. Now, I'd like to share a huge appreciation for the schools where we serve. The work we do starts with a strong school partnership, 6 partnerships to be exact. Our City Year Impact and school staff, teachers and administrators, like thousands across the country, have had to work twice as hard this school year, but they've remained steadfast in their commitment to their students. Today, we honor and recognize these educators as bridge builders in our community. Thank you for all that you do in our classrooms, our schools, and for the students we serve together. Several of our school principals shared their thoughts on this last year and the City Year partnership. Let's take a look.
This is unbelievably hard for our kids and our staff. The best part of being at school every day is our community. It's being with our kids every day and watching them learn and watching them grow. And it's a lot harder not being able to see them every single day.
It's unreal, to be honest. It's nothing that I've ever experienced as an educator for 15 years.
As a principal, the biggest challenges for me are trying to stay connected with teachers and staff and also with students.
What's interesting is while the structures that we use and maybe some of the tools that we use are different, the main thing is still the main thing. Relationships are definitely number one.
I think one of the things that City Year has really done for us is in terms of helping us kind of keep our community going and having another adult voice on campus that kids are able to talk to and connect with.
You never see a City Year alone. They always have at least one, probably likely 3 or 4 children trailing behind them, sometimes with their lunch trays, sometimes with their class books or their laptops going to different spaces. So they really are that binder and connector.
Sometimes staff feel that we have a great relationship with students and families, but it's really what the students and families feel they have with the school staff.
Especially when we look at it from an anti-racist lens, our students and our families suffer from housing injustices, food injustices. We're a food desert, so to speak, so there's not a local grocery store within a few miles. And so when we fight that, City Year is right there with us to address those issues.
One of the most powerful things that has happened is that teachers have been able to extend their different teaching strategies and actually grow their own practices because they have City Year members in their class.
Those classes where they do have a core member, kind of actively involved and regularly providing support, the tenor and the tone of the instruction is quite different.
When I see City Year core members commit to a year of service in our community, it means a lot because it tells me that they're there because they care about kids and they care about our kids, and they want to do everything they can to make sure that our kids and our community are successful.
When I was that young, I never had that much ambition, and so when I see these 18 to 22-year-old people come to Oak Ridge on the first day, our society would be much better if more people had that way of thinking at such a young age.
At Earl Warren, City Year represents energy and community.
City Year is positive relationships.
City Year is our extended family, and not even extended family. They are our family at Rosa Parks, for not only the students in the community, but also for our colleagues and the educators at Rosa Parks.
We are so proud to work side by side with our teachers, district office, school admin, and staff. All are passionate educators, and it's an honor to be considered a true partner that can make a difference right along with them. Thank you all. Now, I apologize, we may be having some technical difficulty, and you may not have a chance to see me on camera. So either sorry about that, or you're welcome. The key is that you're seeing our amazing videos. Now, we've talked a lot about our student success coaches. You saw them in the opening video, but I think it's time we hear from our AmeriCorps members about their experiences over the course of this year. But let's revisit, through the magic of editing, what City Year service looked like before the pandemic. In-person learning with City Year includes power greeting students and welcoming them to their day, working in the classroom, ensuring all questions are answered and individual student needs met, as well as providing small group tutoring and after-school support. Of course, most importantly, our City Year student success coaches build relationships that have a lasting impact on core and students alike.
The difference between in-person and virtual, it's really big. I definitely miss being in that space, seeing the kids every day.
Our students are doing everything they possibly can to show up, to be ready to learn despite the distractions, despite what's happening.
The work that we're doing is the same in nature. The only difference is that we're not directly able to interact with them, and that just requires a little more thoughtfulness on our side to build those relationships and form that connection.
While the teacher is teaching, I'm still circulating on the Zoom chat. Similar to in person, I'm circling around physically, checking in on students, checking in on how are they doing, social emotional.
Just keeping kids focused. Working from home, it's very hard, and that's where our AmeriCorps member comes in. So the teacher doesn't have to stop the lesson. The City Year member can help out with that.
I've recently been making my list of my go-to tool bag virtually that just would not be available in physical service. And it's things that I'm using to make those points of connection. We take turns reading out loud, we pause and we laugh at things. If it's something funny, I'll Google image or find a video of it. If it's about a frog that makes a funny sound, we'll go to YouTube and listen to the 15-second sounds that it makes.
When I met with my principal at Earl Warren, he told me that they used to have a game room at the school. And so what I did was try to find a way to recreate that in the virtual service. The idea behind that was to sort of recreate a recess time. That's where a lot of our relationships get built, and a lot of student relationships get built as well.
Spending time to just ask, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Is there anything that I can do during class that helps you more? Or is there anything that you want me to do? We obviously care about their grades, but that's not what defines them as individuals. And especially in a time where they are growing and developing their identities, it's really important to have that positive influence on them so they can develop self-confidence.
I noticed the student was just very distraught, very frustrated, and when asked, just completely broke down. She's only in 4th grade, and she talked about the fear of failing, the fear of not being able to succeed and just falling more and more behind. I too was vulnerable with the student and told them that I have felt frustrated, I have felt overwhelmed, I have felt lost and confused. And I think, again, our students look up to their city year as role models. And so when they hear that their role model is also struggling, is also lost, they don't feel like they're alone in this process.
I noticed that a lot of my students have K-pop photos for their profile photos on Zoom. And so I see that every single day, and became a fan of K-pop when I was in middle school. It was a pretty difficult time for me during middle school as well. So I used that as one of my outlets. And now being able to use that to connect to one of my students is actually really interesting, kind of funny in hindsight. She started talking to me. She greets me every single day in class individually now. And I've been able to make that connection.
My communication skills, I would say, have drastically improved. Knowing how and when and what to say or do to convince a student to turn on their camera, just have a moment of face-to-face interaction. It's just been an entirely different stream of communication.
I think connections being made really rely on the energy that you bring to the classroom. Whether it be in person or virtual, kids feed off your energy no matter what. And so one thing that I try to tell my team about is just making sure that no matter what you're going through or no matter what the kids seem to be going through, just let the students know that you're going to be there every day with a smile on your face, and the relationships will come from there.
Thank you to all of our amazing core members. It's an unfortunate time, but what a perfect time to have 18 to 25-year-old near-peer mentors leveraging technology to still make important emotional connections and be there for students at a difficult time. Thank you for sharing your powerful stories of service. I am always inspired by our core, and I love to hear how they are making a difference every day. And I know all of you watching feel the same way. After seeing and hearing the impact of our core members who wear the yellow jacket, let's check in with Sierra and see how we're doing with our fundraising. How's it going, Sierra?
Big goofy smile on my face, Jeff, because I love to see those videos and hear all those stories. I think everyone watching is also enjoying them because I have more updates to share. We have thus far raised $12,250. Thank you to Christy Black Davis for your gift of $100, Ray and Luann Sagesio for your gift of $1,000, Len Fowler $100, Yen Marshall, Chris Delfino. You're hearing my computer ding because that means more gifts are coming in. So thank you so very much. We're well on our way to meeting our goal. Whether your gift is $25 or $2,500, you are making a difference and helping us make better happen. So I will pass it to you, Jeff.
This is exciting and amazing. Thank you, Sierra, for that update. And thank you to everyone that's given. Some of those names have been here since we started in Sacramento in 2012. So thank you for your continued donation and support. We are well on our way to continuing this amazing event. And I'm excited to now introduce our Managing Director of Impact, Macy McKinney, to join us.
Thank you, Jeff. And thanks for letting me join you for this next part. First off, I am always proud of our core and staff and the work that they do every year. I'm especially proud of this group of committed individuals, as this year has been unlike any other. As you know, just last week, we transitioned back to campuses, welcoming students, supporting learning, both in person and on campus, or and online, modeling new health and safety routines, all while ensuring our students feel comfortable and supported as they're transitioning back on campus. It definitely feels a little strange to just now be seeing their faces in person and not just in that tiny little box on a computer screen. And a lot of our core members are also just now meeting their teammates for the first time. It has been an interesting year, to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure, Macy. I know our students must be excited to see their AmeriCorps members. I'm excited to actually get a chance to see them live and in person and outside of our tiny little boxes. And Macy, you would know better than anyone. You've been here to help launch the site in Sacramento back in 2012-13 school year. You were a founding core member then. You led our largest team as an impact manager at Rosa Parks K-8, and now oversee and lead impact for the entire site. You've really seen it all. We appreciate, first of all that you've done for our site, our students, and our community through your own leadership and service to others, but in particular during this time.
Thanks, Jeff. And to be honest, service is a true joy when you get to do it alongside such an amazing and dedicated group of people. As you noted earlier, this has been one of the hardest years in our site's history as we face so many unprecedented challenges. The stories we heard from the previous videos are examples of service in action, what happens when we work together to meet a need greater than ourselves. It's one of the things that I love most about City Year. It reminds me of the Margaret Mead sentiment that we quote often. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. It is a great reminder that we can all find a way to give back. For me, it has been my service with City Year, but there are so many people in our community giving back in their own way.
And to that point, Macy, that's really a spark for another first, to recognize that dedication by launching a service award this year.
And not just any service award, but one that has been inspired by a service champion who truly embodies the spirit of service and leads by example every day.
That's exactly right, Macy. And thank you for joining us today. As Jan Marshall put it in the chat, you do rock. But on that note, City Year Sacramento is proud to introduce the inspiration for the Doris Matsui Spirit of Service Award, National Service Champion herself, Congresswoman Doris Matsui.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you today to support City Year Sacramento and celebrate the wonderful contributions of our National Service members. This past year has been unlike any other and has forced us all to make difficult decisions for the health and safety of our friends, colleagues, and loved ones. The good news is that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we are making important strides to return to normalcy soon. Last month, the American Rescue Plan was signed into law, which not only ensures that we will get vaccines in Americans' arms and money in people's pockets, but also includes $1 billion in funding for national service programs like City Year. The COVID-19 pandemic has necessitated a network of strength and support from every corner of our nation and opened up opportunities in our communities to give back and serve. Now, over the past year, National Service members have once again proven their ability to bridge divides, drive meaningful change, and implement a national plan to serve American families. I am proud that we have secured this new funding through the American Rescue Plan to help extend this helping hand to more Americans and empower a new generation of AmeriCorps members to serve their country. To all of the City Year members, thank you for stepping up during good times and bad. You answered the call to serve your country, and I have no doubt you will continue to echo that positivity to every community you serve going forward. Today, I'm honored to join all of you to introduce the inaugural recipient of the Doris Matsui Spirit of Service Award, which represents the core of our Sacramento community, our connection and dedication to helping each other. You know, when I was working in the White House in the 90s, I had the privilege of helping to advance the original National Community Service Act, and ever since then, I have been dedicated to finding ways to expand opportunities for national service. Part of Sacramento's essence is a willingness to serve others. Community strength is in our DNA, and it is exactly these bonds that keep our region strong through thick and thin. And that is why I'm proud to have this award represent this spirit that we all share. Now, that brings us to the wonderful recipient of this year's award, my good friend and colleague, Trish Rodriguez. As a Senior Vice President and Area Manager for Kaiser Permanente, Trish has exhibited the leadership, the compassion, and the character that is emblematic of the Sacramento region. But even before stepping into this role, Trish has always been dedicated to serving the healthcare needs of her community, as demonstrated from her time as a registered nurse to now serving the needs of more than 200,000 Kaiser patients in the region. It has been a pleasure to see Kaiser continue to grow and expand community engagement under her leadership. And not only does Trish work every day to improve the health of Sacramentans, but she is engaged in the Sacramento economic community through her participation as a board member of the Crocker Art Museum and the Sacramento Metro Chamber. Her dedication to the health of thousands of Sacramentans is a treasure, and we are grateful to have such a leader in our region. Trish truly embodies the spirit of this award. Congratulations, Trish. And please, everyone, stay safe. Thank you.
I've had the great fortune to work with Trish in several community organizations. And what's interesting about all these organizations is you really get to see the diversity of volunteer leadership that Trish strives to achieve.
One of the things that's been really fun to watch over the years working with Trish is how she's really embraced what it means to be a true servant leader. And what I mean by that is she understands that her role is important in this community, not just as a leader in Kaiser Permanente, but the way she models how she works in the community, what she assigns her values to, and how she shows up.
She walks the walk. You know, there are a lot of people that read about leadership or talk about leadership, but Trish is one of those that she really embodies that in everything that she does. So, you know, seeing her chair my board, chair other boards, be of service, her involvement with City Year, everything that Trish does. I mean, her story of being a nurse, right, and just being in the field, and now being one of the most respected executives in healthcare. Trish is truly a servant leader at heart, and she lives that in everything that she does.
When she asks me or other people to help out, she's already set the example, and she rolls up her sleeves. She gets the hard work done. So there just aren't many like Trish as far as leaders in our community, and the ability and willingness to do what has to be done to get to a solution.
The most important thing that Trish has really helped with is our project called I Got Your Back, which focuses on mental health and hospitality. And it was the day Anthony Bourdain took his own life. Trish saw me and said, "Hey, Chef, what's the matter?" And I said, "Well, you know, I just don't know about this mental health. It's just not getting any better." And she said, "We're gonna fix that because we have a meeting on Tuesday." 10 days later, 15 people from chefs and restaurateurs were gathered around with the brightest minds in mental health in Sacramento. And 2 years later, we've run a pilot and have a program that's now not only in Sacramento, but expanding across the state and the West Coast.
Trish, congratulations, my friend. There is no one more deserving than you for this recognition.
You've been an inspiration to me personally, and I know to many other leaders in our community. So thanks for all you do.
Thank you for everything you've done for me, what you've done for all of the women in our community, what you've done for these kids.
You've worked very hard, and we are all incredibly proud of you.
Congratulations, Trish, and congratulations, Art, for being the man behind her who inspires her. Trish, you inspire us every day. This is well deserved.
You know, everyone you touch walks away remembering, you know, how you've impacted them, you mentored them, and you know, you inspire so many around you, including myself. And I thank you. I'm so grateful to have you in my life, and I'm grateful that we're in this community, which was a surprise, but now that we're here, we're very much involved. So thank you, baby.
I want to first start by appreciating Congressmember Matsui for being a champion of national service. Thank you for everything you do as co-chair of the National Service Caucus. And Trish, as the Congressmember said, you truly embody the spirit of service. Thank you for being such an incredible leader in our community. You are a mentor and a role model to myself and so many others. It was wonderful to hear all of these heartfelt stories about you. Please join me in welcoming Trish Rodriguez, the 2021 Doris Matsui Spirit of Service Award recipient. Trish.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Congresswoman Matsui and Beth and your entire board, and most importantly, to City Year. Our City Year core members inspire me every day, inspire my husband and I, and really to create the best for our children and the best for our citizens and truly make it a thriving community, because if our kids aren't doing well, the whole community's not doing well. So these are really challenging times for education, and to think that we're able to support City Year to make that much more of an impact is amazing. So thanks to everyone, and I am humbled and honored to receive this award. What can't go unnoticed, my support for the company that I work for, Kaiser Permanente, whose mission is to improve the communities we serve. So thank you to Kaiser Permanente and my entire team here at South Sacramento and our partners for making City Year a great place to for your core members, Jeff. So thank you. And you know, just one thing is we want to add, Artega and I want to add to your total. So we would like to give $10,000 to support City Year. So thank you, T-Wall, and best wishes. And again, humbled and honored.
Thank you, Trish. That is so amazing of you and Art. Thank you so much. And you're getting so much love in the chat. I hope you get a chance to look at that. Trish, you've been a vocal champion of City Year, and Kaiser Permanente has been a valued partner of ours for over 6 years. Thank you to everyone who participated in making that so special for Trish and City Year. And thank you to all of our healthcare workers out there. We cannot say enough how much we appreciate you. Well, we're getting towards the end, but before we sign off, let's do one last check-in with Sierra.
Well, this has been an overwhelming 30 minutes together. Thank you so much to Trish and Art for that incredible gift. They've practically filled a yellow jacket themselves. And I just want to shout out to everyone who's given. I'm going to just ramble off a few names here. Tron Wilson, Peter and Carrie Thompson, Katie Shart, Steve Perez, Dan Gumpert. The list is growing. At this point, we have raised today $33,000, which brings our total to $190,000. We have a team of 12 amazing student success coaches that will serve on the community team next year. So I'm so excited to share those updates with you throughout the year, all of the student success stories that will be coming. Thank you, Sacramento, for all you do to support City Year and help us make better happen. Thank you, Jeff.
Wow, great news, Sierra. Thank you. And I just want to thank Sierra and our entire team who helped put on this event. And a big thank you to everyone that joined us. Thank you for all your support. Special shout out to Shirley Leroy, the chair of our Yellow Circle of the Red Jacket Society, and all of our Yellow Circle members. You're amazing champions for all of us. Thank you for your support. With that, it's time for us to sign off. But first, one last appreciation to our sponsors and our donors. The Doris Matsui Spirit of Service Award recipient, Trish Rodriguez, our school and district partners at Sacramento City Unified, our amazing staff. To the core, thank you for your idealism and commitment. You are truly bridge builders and are making the world a better place. Thank you to all of you for spending some time with us today. Have a happy, very happy, apparently, and healthy rest of your day. I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you.
Did you know that Sacramento is among the top 5 most polluted cities in the nation? And while California has some of the most aggressive carbon reduction goals in the world, there's much more to be done. SMUD has a bold new clean energy vision to eliminate carbon emissions in our power supply by 2030, the most ambitious goal of any large utility in the United States. At the same time, we're committed to continuing to provide safe and reliable power, with rates among the lowest in the state. We are your community-owned, not-for-profit electric company that's been serving in the best interest of our customers and community for over 70 years. Because of you, we're striving for a zero-carbon future that will lead to a cleaner and healthier region for all, today and for future generations. Visit smud.org/zerocarbon to see how you can be a part of the solution.
Hello, I'm Erica Taylor, Vice President of Communications and Community Relations at Golden One Credit Union. On behalf of everyone at Golden One, I want to thank the City Year team for inviting us to this special event. But more importantly, thank you for what you're doing to support the young people who are the future of our communities. Since day one, Golden One has believed in the philosophy of people helping people, and we're honored to support an organization that believes in the power of young people, helps them develop into leaders, and creates a powerful force for positive change. Thank you for helping to build a more just, equal, and inspired future for these kids and our communities. We are stronger together.